American Born Chinese has unique blend of live action and animation elements. How do you approach working with these different formats, and what unique challenges did they present?
I think it's really cool to be doing that nowadays because there's so many different influences that we see on media today, from stuff you see on YouTube to anime, manga, and all of that. And so to be able to do that successfully in a show like this, that it's also a mixed match of storytelling and different tones, and also different cultures like American and Chinese culture mixed together. It's really kind of fitting for this kind of project to be able to do and mix all that together. Because I think our audience now, their kind of screening vocabulary is very deep now, and they've seen all kinds of influences of things. And so to be able to bring all that and reference and homage that for the audience and for them to recognize it is a really cool thing about this show.
Especially with the Monkey King powers, like what was the experience like just working with the animation team to bring that to life and kind of see were there particular scenes that you were challenging or exciting that you just felt like you got to film?
Well, it's interesting because we as the actors never get to see what's going on in the animation studio. Kind of we do all
Mm,
this stuff on set. And like for
mm,
example, the staff, the jingle bong that I have, right? It can be
mm,
really small, it can be really big. So
mm,
we have the different sizes of staffs, but we don't have it's not transforming on set, right? The CGI
mm,
does that. So we'll be on set fighting with a small one, and all of a sudden they say stop. And then you hand it to someone and then you get the big one back. And then you
mm,
continue fighting with the big one, right? And so that
mm,
transition happens in the animation studio, right? In the
mm,
VFX studio, and they make that happen. So it's really cool once you see the final product and how they blend that all in together and make it work. For me, like I come from like old school analog action where everything is
mm.
done on camera. So to be able to mix it together with cool CGI and create this really cool aesthetic that is very kind of manga like is really cool.
Was it working with Michelle Yeoh and on set? And what did you learn from her, just like the acting wise, and just being like having the scenes together?
I love Michelle. We've known each other for like a really long time. We've tried to work together many times and it just never worked out. And so when
Mhm.
I was asked to play this character, I was told Michelle was going to be in the project. I texted her right away. I'm like, "Are you doing this?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, cool." And she's like, "You better get your ass down here." So I was like, I committed right away. So that
Mm,
was really cool to be able to work with her and to play this kind of dual character with her, where she's kind of like the mother figure to
mm,
Wei Shen, and I'm like the father character. And so to have that
mm,
dynamic on screen is really interesting, where she's constantly reminding me and chastising me about being too stern with my son, um, because I was that way myself. Because
mm,
in in the Monkey King's backstory, he was that way too, and
mm,
it was Guan Yin's character. Her, she would always save me or get me out of certain situations. She's constantly reminding me that you need to be more compassionate with your son, have more empathy because you were exactly that way as well. And so that
mm,
dynamic is really interesting because it's almost like a similar family dynamic to what Ben Wong's character is going through, Jin
mm,
and his mom and dad, and the three of
mm,
them, that dynamic. So these three characters mirror each other, even though one set is from heaven and they're mythological, and one set is very real on earth, and
mm.
an immigrant family story. These two stories are very relatable, and I think that's why the story is so successful, or the show is so successful, is that it marries these two worlds together and brings the tone together in one.